welcome to Island Owl Tarot. Today I'm going to do a general reading for Libra, and it's for the month of July 2020. Now the first card I'm going to choose for you is an angel card. And I like to use angel cards because sometimes they help us to concentrate on the subject matter. That's what you need to think about. So I'll just shuffle the cards a little bit and we'll choose this one. And this is a nice card. Creative project. Now what that card indicates is perhaps you're someone who works quite hard, but you've had on mind a creative project. It could be something that you've already started working on. A lot of us have had a bit of time on our hands recently with all the pandemic and the lockdown. So maybe this is a good time to move forward with that. And now what I'll do, I'm going to do a reading using my Rider-Waite tarot cards. And I'll just shuffle these and we'll see if we can get some help with your creative projects and ideas. So I'm just going to pull a few different cards out of the pack. And I'm going to stop there just now. Now the first card I pulled out for you was the Wheel of Fortune. Now the Wheel of Fortune is just to remind you that sometimes, you know, things can go up as well as down. So sometimes we can go through what we feel a lucky phase, or sometimes we can go through, perhaps we feel, oh, this is unlucky, nothing works for me. But this is to remind you that whatever situation we're in, the good phrase is, this too will pass. So if you're feeling quite optimistic about something, go for it. And the Knight of Swords, the next card, that's reminding you that whatever you plan to do, it requires action. It requires input from you. Now the Queen of Cups here, lovely card, and this is someone in your life who is a good support to you. Could be a partner or a friend, and usually this is a Cancerian. This is quite often a water sign. Now just in the recent past, some of you may have come into some money, the 10 of coins, and sometimes it can be quite a substantial amount of money. Now whether that's been an inheritance, or perhaps because of the pandemic, you've lost your job, been made redundant, you've maybe received a lump sum of money. This would actually be an ideal time for you to move forward with something that you've maybe been considering for some time, because perhaps you've got the money there to support you while you're getting your personal project up and running. Now the Nine of Swords at the top, the lady there, she's looking rather mournful. Now it could be that in recent times there's been some loss. Now that could have been loss of work, could have been even a close friend or family member has recently passed, and that has caused you to feel rather sad and full of regrets. But it's also an opportunity maybe to see things from a new perspective. And this is what can happen in life. This is where the Wheel of Fortune comes in, just as a reminder, you know, good and bad happens to us throughout the whole of our lives. And this is maybe, whatever's happened recently has been an opportunity to look at things from a new point of view. So let me just pull out a few other cards and let's just see where we're going with this. Now the Magician, now this is going to be in the recent times to come. Now the Magician is somebody who has all the tools to hand. This is somebody who's skilled and experienced. It can also often refer to a written word. Now that could simply be, let me think, it could be like applying for a job. It could be simply putting pen to paper. It could be that creative project that the angel card highlighted. So maybe you've had time on your hands and you felt that this is a good opportunity to finally write that book or something along those lines, a journal, something that you've had in mind, but you've now actually got the time to do it. Now this next card, the Three of Coins, now this actually talks about teamwork. So whether this support and teamwork comes from your family or friends, but it's also to remind you that sometimes we have to be thankful that we do have people around us to help us and support us with our plans. But what it maybe also means is don't think you have to do everything on your own. Now the next card ties in quite nicely, the Fool. Now the Fool, he is someone who is open to new experience. So that could tie in quite nicely with your Wheel of Fortune and your 10 of Coins. It may well be that you've had the opportunity to you recently to allow you to go out in a new journey, in a new direction. Now, whilst the Fool can sometimes indicate somebody being a little bit naive and just heading off without giving it a great deal of thought, I also happen to think the Fool is actually quite a good card, in the sense that here's somebody who's been given the opportunity to off they go with their little bag on a little journey, perhaps doing something that they've never done before, willing to take a risk, willing to just do something that little bit offbeat, because if you don't try, how will you know if it's going to work for you? So let me just take out a couple of more cards just to finish the read. And I'll put these cards down. Now these next two cards, these are lovely cards. You've got the Hermit. Now the Hermit is quite often, it's a case, it's reminding us to take a little bit of time to look inwards, to reflect. Maybe we're not meant to jump in too quickly. So it doesn't mean don't do what you're planning to do. It just says make sure that you consider everything from every point of view. Take a little bit of time out to research, or you know, even pen and paper, and write down all the pros and cons of the situation as you move forward. The final card, the Strength card. Now this is actually a Leo card. It's a lovely card actually. It's a very good strong card, as it suggests, and this is indicating somebody who is going to utilise not only their skills and their abilities that they have to date, but also utilising your strength of character. Think about all the things you're good at, you know, not just sort of academically, but you're really sort of thinking about your strength of character. All the things that you're good at, maybe communicating with people, expressing yourself. And this card is a very positive card, saying that this is a very strong possibility for you. Now, the overall reading, very positive for you, Libra. And the reading ties in very nicely, going back to the angel card, your creative project. Now, this creative project could actually be a number of things. It could be indicating a new job, a new opportunity. That's the word I would use. You've been given an opportunity to give something a try. The Wheel of Fortune is saying to you, well, if you don't try, you'll never find out. But just be aware that just as much as it could be successful, maybe it won't. But it's always worth the try. The Hermit's reminding you, just make sure that you give whatever you decide to do a bit of thought, searching for that inner light. And the Strength card, very nice, positive end to that read, where it's reminding you to utilise all your skills, not just the ones written on a CV or a bit of paper, but all your strength of character. Anyway, that's the end of that reading for you today, Libra, for July 2020. Overall, a very positive read. If you've liked the reading today, if you'd be good enough to like, subscribe and share, I would appreciate that. And do come back for your August reading. Bye-bye just now.